Something terrifying has been hiding in plain sight. That soft clicking you hear at the start of every Pluribus episode, that heartbeat-like pulse we all assumed was just atmospheric music. It isn't music. It isn't stylistic. It isn't symbolic. It's alive. Because someone you've never met, someone stranded in Paraguay, someone who has been starving himself to stay human, has been listening to that same sound through a battered ham radio, and he claims it's not a soundtrack. He says it's the hive mind. And after everything we've seen, I'm starting to believe him. Tonight, I'm going to show you something horrifying. The Pluribus Collective doesn't communicate through telepathy. They communicate through radio. A real frequency, a real signal, a real pulse beating around the planet every second. And if Manus Oviedo can reach Carol without getting absorbed, the two of them together might be able to do something humanity never thought possible. Not kill the hive, not wipe out 7 billion people, just turn off the signal. But here's the question haunting me. If someone gives you your mind back, but takes away your happiness, is that really saving you? And the bigger question, what happens to a united world when its heartbeat suddenly falls silent? Let's begin. The signal that should not exist. The beginning was quiet, too quiet for the catastrophe it unleashed. Episode 1 opens with the very large array detecting something that scientists should have dismissed as impossible. Not meteors, not static, not cosmic interference. A signal. A repeating, deliberate signal coming from Kepler 22b, 600 light-years away. At first, the astronomers tried to break it apart like any other alien transmission, but almost immediately they hit a wall. Because this wasn't binary, this wasn't math, this wasn't communication the way humans imagine communication. It pulsed in 4 distinct frequencies, 4 tones repeating in a pattern. A 4-base transmission system. And those 4 frequencies matched something ancient, something biological, something that has existed long before humans ever built antennas. The 4 bases of RNA. Guanine, adenine, cytosine, uracil. The aliens didn't send a message. They sent instructions. A recipe. A blueprint. A pattern waiting to be assembled. And like every great human tragedy, the fatal mistake wasn't malice. It was curiosity. Scientists decoded it, rebuilt it, activated it, and released something into the world that didn't just infect bodies, it rewired the human species. But here's the part almost nobody noticed. The signal wasn't just a recipe. It was a protocol, a guide, a manual for a communication network. And that network is still active. Right now. A network made of skin and thought. If you wanted to build a planetary hive mind with zero infrastructure, no satellites, no towers, no cables, what would you use? You'd use HF radio. High-frequency waves bounce between Earth's surface and the ionosphere, spiraling around the world like invisible ripples. No technology required, no maintenance, no interference. Perfect for a biological network. And when the Pluribus organism entered human tissue, it didn't give people magic powers. It did something much more terrifying. It turned human neurons into antennas. The magnetite crystals already inside our brains, tiny shards of iron we never think about, were rearranged, realigned, repurposed. Birds use magnetite to navigate across continents. Whales use it to sense the Earth's magnetic fields. Humans carry these same crystals. Pluribus just activated them. It transformed the human mind into a receiver, and maybe into a transmitter. All tuned to one frequency. The same frequency that started everything. 8613.0 kilohertz. A real number. A real signal. A real pulse beating around the planet every second. And in episode 6, Manus finally hears it. Not metaphorically, not spiritually. He hears it on a radio. A clicking, a rhythm, a heartbeat in metal. And here's where everything snaps into focus. That clicking matches the title sequence. The opening theme of Pluribus isn't just creepy ambiance. It's the hive itself. From the very first episode, the show has been broadcasting the sound of 7 billion synchronized minds right into our living rooms. We just didn't know it. The signal that scientists weren't meant to touch. Many people argue this theory can't be true. Human brains can't pick up radio waves.
They can't sense electromagnetic signals. Except they can. And scientists have known it for more than 50 years. The Frey effect, discovered in 1961, shows pulsed radio waves can create clicking and buzzing sounds inside your skull without using your ears. Radio waves can become sound. Sound can become perception. Perception can become control. Once you understand this, the hive isn't mystical. It's mechanical. A global network of biological radios. And like every network, it can be interrupted, it can be corrupted, it can be jammed. But before we get to that, you need to understand something crucial. The hive isn't using this frequency to share thoughts. Thoughts travel through the pluribus tissue itself. The frequency is the metronome, the sync pulse, the heartbeat keeping 7 billion minds aligned. Just like musicians don't need to hear each other to stay in rhythm, they just need the same beat. Carol's rage episodes prove this. When she's upset, she doesn't send anger into the network. She creates interference, local distortion. Her mismatched neural waveform disrupts the sync, causing nearby joined people to glitch, convulse, and stutter. That's not telepathy. That's static. And static means the system has a weakness. 2 people, 1 impossible mission. Now let's talk about the 2 human beings the universe has thrown together. 2 people who don't know each other. 2 people who don't even trust themselves. But 2 people who might be humanity's last chance to think alone again. Carol Sturka, the woman who never joined. The woman whose biology rejects the hive. The woman dissecting Pluribus like a mechanic tearing apart a stolen engine. She understands the biology. Manus Oviedo, the man who never listened to the hive. The man who locked himself inside a tiny Paraguayan shack just to keep his mind his own. The man whose only weapon is a rusty radio and a level of stubbornness you can't teach. He understands the frequency. Carol has the body. Manus has the signal.